And welcome back to Typical City. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. We can't underestimate that win. That was a big win, a really big win. We've stopped the rot, 4 games without a win, and thankfully that run has come to an end. A much needed 3 points being slapped on the Premier League table for Manchester City, but still sitting in 4th, so there's a long way to go. But I think if you look at it overall, I think the standards of Manchester City and the expectancy levels from Manchester City fans are so high, sometimes unrealistically high. I do think a lot of City fans need to tune it down just a little bit, not expect so much from this Manchester City side. I understand why, because we went and destroyed European football last season. We won the treble last season, so I get that. I get the expectancy levels, but you know, we beat Luton by 1 goal, and some City fans are coming away disappointed with the performance and suggesting it wasn't good enough still, and still signs of the same team that weren't beating Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs and Villa. I disagree. I thought there was some good performances in there completely, but the standards, I mean, for example, we beat Luton by 1 goal. Arsenal beat Luton by 1 goal, but you aren't going to see City fans collapsing over the advertising boardings and celebrating it like they've won a Champions League just because you've put 1 more goal past Luton and beat them, eventually beat them. We put 1 more goal past Luton than they were able to score. So we won the game, and I think we should enjoy that and definitely champion the Manchester City side for getting 3 points in a very difficult atmosphere, a very difficult physical opponent as well. They're tenacious and they're powerful. They're a big, powerful team, and set pieces and crossing into the box. We found out the hard way, but we matched them and we beat them. So, you know, I thought it was really good. Let's have a look at the match stats. 35% possession for Luton to City's 65. 4 shots for Luton to our 18, so you can't talk about chance creation. Again, we're putting the numbers on the board for chance creation. We fully deserve to win this game, as you can see. 2 shots for Luton on target, 6 for City on target. I'd like to see us bump that up a little bit. I thought there was quite a few wayward shots in that game. Kyle Walker, Kovacic fired one over the bar. Bernardo Silva was a little wayward with one of his shots. Rodri fired one over the bar. Ruben Diaz hit the bar. So there was plenty of opportunities to be a bit more clinical with it, but the players that were taking those shots are not normally the ones you expect to be hitting the target. But an XG of 0.33 to our 1.61. So we overperformed, as did Luton. Both teams overperforming with a low XG. I'm surprised at City's XG there, to be honest. But 3 big chances created somehow results in a 1.61 XG. I don't know how that works. I'd love to know how they actually work this out. What algorithm and what AI is being used to calculate these figures, because there is some contradictions there already. You can see 1 big chance for Luton. 302 passes to our 594, and there's your physicality. That's the physicality I was talking about. 16 fouls. I mean, fucking hell, ref. 2 yellow cards for 16 fouls. You're having a laugh. At least he kept it consistent with the cards, because only 1 for City to our 6 fouls. Now, moving on to the player rating, starting with Ederson at the back. I've seen people say he should have come out. I thought that on face value. I've looked at that goal again from Luton. Adebayo's really coming in deep. That cross comes in high. I don't think Ederson should be coming out to claim that. Now I've looked at it back properly. I thought maybe yesterday he should have come out and claimed that. Split-second decision for Ederson to make. That cross coming in, you're thinking maybe, but it comes in so high and so deep. It's such a deep looping trajectory that you think, well, I'm not sure he should have come out and claimed that. Other than that, there was nothing for him to do, really, and I don't think he's to be blamed for their goal. 32 touches, 88% passing accuracy, a save, 2 high claims, and that can't be underestimated, because we were under the cosh a little bit in that last 5 minutes. Luton were lumping it into our box and hoping for the best. And Ederson, as well as Ake, were brilliant at handling that pressure that Luton were piling onto the City side in that last 5-10 minutes of the game once they'd gone 2-1 down, and they dealt with it really well. So not much to do other than that for Ederson, so 6.5 for Ederson. Kyle Walker is a growing concern for me in his role in this team, because he's not really putting up the defensive numbers you want to see from Kyle Walker, as well as the fact that he's being given a license to roam forward. Again, I don't agree with it. I don't like the idea of Kyle Walker going forward. It's not his strengths. Play to his strengths, but his strengths aren't exactly looking very good right now. The typical things you see from Kyle Walker is never getting dribbled past and putting in some good defensive performances, preventing counter-attacks. Well, immediately the passing accuracy we can't be dropping into the 80s as a defender for Manchester City. We can't be dropping into the 70s, sorry. He's got to keep it in the 80s as a minimum. 79% passing accuracy. 2 tackles is okay. No interceptions, no clearances. Dribbled past twice. Again, same as against Villa. He was dribbled past frequently against Villa. And we need to, I don't know, are we starting to think about maybe dropping Kyle Walker and going back to that system that we saw last season? At the end of last season, where we didn't have any traditional fullbacks. We had 4 centre-backs, effectively, with John Stones pushing in and Akanji being a right-back that would tuck in and become part of the 3 centre-backs. We might have to go back to that system, potentially, because Kyle Walker, he's not playing brilliantly at the minute for me, and he's a couple of bad games away from, you know, the cries of being dropped, being a bit louder. But 1 successful dribble, which is all right. 6 for Kyle Walker, which is bordering on generous, to be honest, bordering on being a little bit generous. Ruben Diaz, 93 touches, 85% passing accuracy, a tackle, he was dribbled past once. Interceptions, 1, clearance 2, and I want to highlight that right there. 7 aerial duels, 4 of which were won. That's really good because he's going up against Adebayo. You know, big unit. The amount of times he had to challenge for him. One of the failed aerial duels was unfortunately ended up in the back of the net. But he's got 3 or 4 inches on Ruben Diaz. He's an absolute unit, Adebayo. I don't think any defender's going to get decent aerial duel numbers against Adebayo. And they're not bad. They're pretty decent considering who he's up against, Ruben Diaz. But 6.5 for Ruben Diaz. Gvardiol, that's not good enough. Those stats right there are not good enough. I've seen a lot of people torn. He is quite a divisive player right now. People, obviously, understandably so, and I'm one of them, want to give him time and a chance to find his feet. He's just signed for Manchester City. He has just signed. He is so young still. We can't forget that. He's come with a big price tag. He's come with a lot of expectancy. He's not delivering at the minute. He's not delivering. We can't ignore that. Those numbers are just not good enough. Just not good enough right now. 68 touches, 70% passing accuracy. That's too low. Way too low. Too sloppy. No tackles, no clearances, no interceptions. I mean, okay, he wasn't really asked to defend that much, other than the one opportunity where you're thinking block the cross for their goal. He did just stick a leg out and sort of hopefully, I mean, it was brilliant midfield play from Ross Barkley to even get the ball to Townsend, because he had Kovacic and Foden and Rodri all trying to tackle Ross Barkley, who spun all 3 of them and then sprays it out wide to Townsend, who gets his cross in. So we were caught by surprise by the brilliant play of Ross Barkley. But still, you think maybe could you'd made yourself a little bit bigger to block that cross, dribble past once, and then you think, okay, well, he did a lot more attacking than he did defending. 3 attempted dribbles, of which only 1 was successful. Not his greatest game. I'm hoping he can find his feet sooner. Otherwise, we are starting to question what we're going to do. Because I've already suggested Kyle Walker's a couple of games away, or bad games away from being, you know, or questioning whether he should be dropped or not. The same could be said about Josko Gvardiol, in which case it's like, well, you can't drop both of them, because otherwise we haven't got enough defenders on the pitch. So one of them needs to get their act together, you know, and sort this out. Because I think Gvardiol is a capable player. I think he's going to go on to be a superstar for City. I still believe he will be that guy. He'll be that defender for us going forward because he is so young. I just need to see a little more, a few more glimpses of quality from him going forward, and hopefully we'll see that going forward. But yeah, 5.5 for Josko Gvardiol. Polar opposite for Nathan Ake. I thought he was brilliant. Fantastic, and maybe Gvardiol could have a quick look at Nathan Ake's game, ask him for a few tips and tricks, learn something, take a leaf out of the Ake book, potentially. 90% passing accuracy, and I'm telling you, those weren't simple passes. Key pass already to his name, as you can see. He was breaking the lines at times, Nathan Ake, with some big, brave passes. 1 key pass, a tackle, 5 clearances, of which I imagine were all those aerial duels that you can see. 5 aerial duels. He won all 5. All 5. In that last 5 minutes, we were getting peppered with crosses, coming in, aiming for Adebayo, and he was bossing that box. He was bossing the penalty area, Nathan Ake, at the end of the game. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, winning us the game effectively. Assured, reliable, dependable. I love him. I love Nathan Ake. 1 dribble as well, of which he was successful. 8 out of 10 for Nathan Ake, fantastic. Rodri, good to see him back playing. He was fierce yesterday. He was fierce, wasn't he? He looked pissed off. He looked angry. And he was ready for a fight. Rodri, I loved it. I loved it how he clattered into Lockyer for Bernardo Silva's goal. He was tackling Adebayo. He was putting in some big crunching tackles yesterday from Rodri. I was really impressed by Rodri. I thought he was solid. Nothing too glamorous from his performance, but solid. 108 touches, 91% passing accuracy, a key pass, 3 tackles, like I said, some big tackles in there. 3 shots, of which 1 was on target, a big booming thunder bastard strike in the first half, forcing a save from Kaminsky. 3 dribble attempts, 2 of which were successful, and he lost the ball 10 times. Really good from Rodri, 7.5. Kovacic, I loved it. I loved that performance. It was a passing masterclass from Rodri, a passing masterclass. Absolute brilliant from Kovacic, and I think it's going to go underrated, that performance, because he was firing these passes through, and you can see straight away passing accuracy 95%, and we're not talking little basic sideways passes. He was breaking the lines, finding Bernardo Silva, finding Jack Grealish, finding Alvarez, and finding Phil Foden. So many occasions these lines where Luton's midfield was just bypassed with a cute, clever pass from Kovacic. Really good, and he was brave on the ball. I loved it. I loved that performance from Kovacic. I'm surprised only one of them's considered a key pass, but he was getting players into opportunistic moments. I thought it was really good. 3 tackles, same as Rodri, so the other side of his game was strong. 1 clearance, 2 dribbles, of which none were successful. You want to see that improved a little bit. I also want to highlight that Ross Barkley ghosted past him in that second half. He looked tired in the second half, which is why he comes off in the 83rd minute. He did look tired towards the end of that game, but don't take that away from his performance, because I thought those 83 minutes, other than that one moment where Ross Barkley just ghosted past him and Ross Barkley ballooned it well wide of the post, I thought it was really good. 7 possession lost. That's low. That's really, really low for a midfielder in that position. Really good. 8 out of 10 for Kovacic. Phil Foden, another 8 out of 10. Really pleased with Phil Foden's performance. He looked lively. He had a spark to his game. Looked good. 67 touches, 80% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 2 tackles, 2 shots, both on target. 3 dribbles, 2 completed, 11 times he lost the ball. I thought Phil Foden was brilliant. Really unlucky not to come away with a goal to his name. Because he was fantastic yesterday, Phil Foden. Really good, and he deserved to be on the winning side yesterday. And the celebration, I love that little celebration when Jack Grealish puts it in the back of the net. You could tell how much that this has been hurting him the last couple of weeks. And that was a real moment of relief to see that ball smack into the back of the net. So, yeah, really good from Phil Foden, 8 out of 10. Bernardo Silva, man of the match, masterclass performance from Bernardo Silva, 8.5 out of 10. That 0.5 for that finish, what a finish that was. Love that from Bernardo Silva. 66 touches, 89% passing accuracy, 2 dribbles, 1 of which was on target, 4 tackles. You know, the guy was up for it. The guy was up for it. He was like, I don't give a shit how big you are. I don't give a shit how big you are. Bigger you are, the harder you fall, mate. Adebayo, I'm crunching you, mate. I'm going to snap you. Absolutely flying into tackles. Brilliant. Brilliant from Bernardo Silva. I love it. 3 key passes to his name. So good. So good. 3 shots, 1 on target. He lost the ball 11 times. And don't forget that goal. Brilliant. Absolutely sensational. And I'm just gutted that it sounds like he's on his way out in the summer. What are we going to do without this guy? What are we going to do without this guy? One of the world's greatest players right now. Really is. So good. This guy, keep him fit, play him every game. There's no reason why we're not picking up a trophy or 2 this season with this guy in midfield. Sensational. Jack Grealish, another 8 out of 10. Really pleased with these City players. I don't think I'm being too generous either. I think they both, Phil Foden, Kovacic, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, they all deserve to be 8 and upwards. Really good. 59 touches for Jackie Boy. 85% passing accuracy, a key pass, 3 shots, 2 were blocked, 1 on target. In the back of the net it goes. 4 dribble attempts, 3 were successful, really good, and a big chance created. He lost the ball 10 times, which is low. 8 out of 10 for Jack Grealish, and it's just good to see him being on the right end of a result after scoring the winner. He effectively scored the winner against Spurs. It should have been the winner against Spurs. Coming on and getting that winner, you're thinking that's exactly what Jack Grealish deserves. Exactly what he deserves. Yet here we are and fucking conceding a stupid goal to Kulusevski at the end. And the headlines should have been about Jack Grealish that game. To this game, a little bit more headlines are being shined and the light being shined on Jack Grealish's performance, because I thought he was really good. Really good. 8 out of 10 for Jack Grealish. Alvarez, I think it was a mixed performance from Alvarez. I want to jump straight to that possession loss because he was sloppy with his touch. He did lose the ball a little bit too frequently for my liking. But you can't underestimate the fact that the guy's coming away with an assist for Jack Grealish's goal, his tenacity to win that ball back, getting smacked in the face, Luton fans and the team all crying for handball. Nah, mate, smack me in the face because I don't give a shit. Knock me in the jaw. Ball lands fortunately to Alvarez. He continues his run late and runs onto it from Phil Foden. It's just brilliant. I thought that fact that it tackles again. There you go, 3 tackles to his name, 1 dribble attempt of which it was successful. Needs to work on that shooting accuracy a little bit. 3 none were on target and a key pass. Again, passing accuracy. This is what I'm talking about with the mixed. 76% passing accuracy was a little bit too low, but he got an assist and he deserved an assist for that. For taking one in on the jaw. To win the game. To win the game. That's what Alvarez did. He won us the game with that little action, that little moment of bravery and tenacity and willingness to fight for the cause. Manchester City shirt. He wears it with pride, and he works so hard. And you do not underestimate work ethic in this Manchester City team, for Alvarez in particular. End product is questionable right now. I'd like to see a few more goals being added to his name, in particular with the fact that Erling Haaland is now likely giving him the opportunity to get more goal-scoring opportunities. You want to see that goal column start increasing now for Alvarez, but still created a chance, got himself an assist. I thought he deserves at least a 7. Julian Alvarez, 7 out of 10. Nunez comes on. I just want to highlight the fact that 50% passing accuracy is 1 out of 2. Still, you should be completing 2 out of 2 passes. I haven't seen which pass exactly it was that he gave away, but still, 5 touches, 14 minutes on the pitch, 50% passing accuracy, 0s in most of the columns. A tackle, which is decent. He lost the ball 3 times, which is not great for a 14-minute cameo, but still putting in a tackle, that's okay. 6 out of 10. Not much to grade him on with 14 minutes of football. Same again for John Stones, only 20 minutes of football to his name, 21 to be precise. 6 touches, 100% passing accuracy. That's 3 out of 3, I think. So, that clearance though, that's the stuff you need. Game management, coming on, big guy like John Stones and getting a clearance, exactly what we need, because Luton were throwing the kitchen sink at us. And he's come onto the pitch and provided a potentially vital clearance for Manchester City. So it's important coming on and doing little things like that. These little details matter. Still not enough to grade him on. 6 out of 10. Akanji's the other substitute. He came on for 1 minute. I'm not going to grade anybody on 1 minute of football. I don't think that's right. So not going to grade Manuel Akanji. But ultimately, it's a massive win for City. It really is a big win. If we can complement this win with another win against Crystal Palace next Saturday, I will be doing a watch-along for that. So come and join me for that. Looking forward to that one. And before we know it, we're looking at going away to the Club World Cup and putting big pressure on Liverpool and Arsenal while we go away and hopefully get ourselves another trophy. We can come back to this Premier League table and be within very close touching distance of our rivals with a game in hand. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's what happened. But what do you think? Who do you think played well? Who was your man of the match? What are your player ratings for this Manchester City performance against Luton? Get in the comments. I really want to hear them. Drop a like on the video. It really does help. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now.